We're going to spend time looking at state and federal laws and agencies that provide important protections for you as a worker, as well as some principles developed by the Federal Bureau of Labor that can help you determine what makes a good job. Here's what we're going to cover in this section. There's a law for that. The Good Jobs Initiative. Federal and state laws and how they interact. The Equal Opportunity Employment Commission. Oregon's Bureau of Labor and Industries. What is discrimination and harassment, and how do you report it? We'll end this session with a wrap-up and preview of our next section. We all want to find jobs that make us happy, pay our bills, plus give us fun money. And it's important that we know our rights as workers so that we stay safe, don't experience discrimination or harassment, and can take time off when we have health issues so that our jobs are protected. There are both state and federal laws for that. The Federal Good Jobs Initiative was developed by the Department of Labor with principles for employers and workers to determine what jobs provide stability and security. The principles provide a framework for workers, businesses, labor unions, local governments, federal agencies, and other employers for a shared vision of job quality. We'll provide a link on our resource page for you to dive deeper. In the meantime, let's look at a few of these principles. Qualified applicants are actively recruited, are free from discrimination, and have relevant skills. Unnecessary educational or experience requirements are minimized. The goal of this principle is to provide equity that doesn't shut people out. This principle is to make sure that all workers are respected, empowered, and treated fairly. There should be no systemic barriers. We know that some groups, women, people of color, folks who are differently abled, have often struggled over the years to be treated fairly. This principle makes it clear that isn't right. All workers are paid a stable and predictable living wage before overtime, tips, and commission, and receive pay increases as they add skills and experience. Everyone should know how much they will be paid and that it will cover their expenses. Once you are skilled in your job, you should be rewarded for that. This principle allows workers to form and join unions. They can work together to deal with the problem without fear of retaliation, and they have the opportunity to contribute to workplace decisions and how work is performed. We'll spend time in week 4 talking about unions, how they're formed, and how they improve workplaces and jobs. We've covered 4 of the 8 principles. Here's the full list. You can check them all out at the link below. When you start looking for work, we encourage you to consider the Good Jobs Initiative to decide which employers meet these important standards. We like the principles in the Good Job Initiative, but they are not laws, and there is no enforcement. That's why we have federal and state laws that guarantee a minimum wage, safety protections, and protected time off for health-related reasons. But here's the thing. If a state decides to make these requirements better than the federal laws, they can. For example, all West Coast states, Oregon, Washington, and California, have higher minimum wage laws than the federal rate, which is $7.25 an hour and hasn't changed since 2009. There are also federal laws around safety and protected health-related time off. We'll look at these in more detail in our next section. The U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, or EEOC, is a federal agency that protects jobs and working people. It was established via the Civil Rights Act of 1964 to administer and enforce civil rights law. The EEOC investigates discrimination complaints based on the individual's protected class and also investigates retaliation if you file a complaint or oppose a discriminatory practice. A protected class refers to groups of people who are legally protected against discrimination. Protected classes share characteristics such as race, color, national origin, religion, age, disability, genetic information, or sex, including sexual orientation, pregnancy, and gender identity. These protections apply when you are being hired, while you're at work, and even if you're fired, if you believe you were fired because you are in a protected class.
I heard that you and some of the other workers got together last night.
Yes, we did.
You know that unionizing isn't something this company tolerates.
I don't think...
There may be some reorganizing of positions here if this continues, if you understand my meaning. No, starting a union is protected in the United States.
I see that you went to a Catholic high school. I hope you don't want to take a bunch of those saint days off.
No, during the hiring process, they cannot ask or make reference to your religion.
Tell me a little bit more about yourself. You look a little young to be handling the responsibilities of this job.
No. When you are interviewing for a job, referencing your age or assuming about your age is potentially discriminatory.
If you are in a protected class and experience discrimination, you can take legal action. If you want to dive deeper into the work of the EEOC, here's a link to a 3-minute video. There is also an Oregon agency that enforces our state laws around wages and other workers' rights. The Bureau of Labor and Industries, BOLI for short. BOLI also oversees our registered apprenticeship programs to make sure these programs meet an established set of standards for equity and fair wages. Here's a quick guide from BOLI, link below, to what your employer must provide you according to the state of Oregon. We'll cover most of these. Let's look at how BOLI regulates workplace discrimination. If you are a worker who is in a protected class, Oregon defines discrimination very specifically. It is illegal to discriminate against someone because of race, national origin, color, sex, gender identity, sexual orientation, age, religion, physical or mental disability, military, marital, or family status. Look familiar? It is nearly identical to the list from the EEOC.
I just looked at my paycheck and it doesn't look like I'm making what you said I would.
I don't remember what I told you, but since you are small and I don't think you can lift as much as some of the other workers, we started to do a couple dollars less an hour until we find out.
No, you cannot be discriminated against for physical limitation or disability.
Hey, wait up! Remind me where you're from again?
Grew up right here.
Just asking because, we have a lot of Filipinos on morning shift and we were wondering if maybe you can take nights? Can you do that? How's that sound? Hey, you know what? I'm just gonna make you do it. How about that? Have a wonderful night.
No, you cannot be given different work opportunities because of your ethnicity or national origin. That is discrimination based on your race, which is a protected class.
Hey boss, I was hoping to hear back about that warehouse manager position I applied for.
Yes. After careful consideration, I've decided to give the position to Jim. Anna, you are a great worker, but the warehouse is all men, and the position needs a man who can relate and keep up with them.
No, you cannot be denied an opportunity of advancement because of your gender.
That's a long list. And as you can see, many people may be in several protected classes at the same time. For example, an Asian woman who is in a wheelchair is part of 3 protected classes. This is called intersectionality. There is an intersection of several different protected characteristics. Practically, what this means is that you can't be paid less because of your age or gender, you can't be fired or demoted because of your race, you can't be given a worse job assignment because of your religion. For both federal and state laws, not only is discrimination illegal, so is retaliating against someone for pointing out discriminatory practices.
I looked at the timesheet and you have me on graveyard shift. I explained to you I can't work nights when I started here.
Everyone has to do their part as needed, and sometimes when you complain about your boss, things change.
Is this because I filed the discrimination complaint?
I never said that. But if you can't do the work, maybe you should rethink your place here.
No, you cannot be discriminated against for filing a discrimination complaint.
Let's look at another situation that is illegal in the workplace. Sexual harassment. Here's the definition. Sexual harassment can look like unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, or conduct of a sexual nature, verbal, physical, or visual, that is directed towards an individual because of gender. It can also include conduct that is not sexual, but is gender-related. Sexual harassment includes the harassment from the same or the opposite sex. If someone says or does something that makes you feel uncomfortable and is sexual in nature, that is sexual harassment. It doesn't matter if the person doing it is your boss, your coworker, or if they are the same or different gender identity from you. It is illegal and must stop. How do you make it stop? Go to a person in authority, and if you have a union at work, make sure you let a union representative know too. If it is the supervisor who is harassing you, go to their boss or to human resources. The employer must make the behavior stop. If it is a coworker harassing you, again, go to a person in authority. If you don't receive any response or the sexual harassment continues, Oregon's Bureau of Labor and Industries has a complaint process that'll definitely get your employer's attention. And remember, the employer is breaking another law if they retaliate against you for reporting. Here's the link, and we'll also include it on the resource page you can download.
I was hoping to talk to you about a raise.
The company thinks it's too soon for a raise, but if you come out to dinner with me, I could persuade the owner.
No, by implying that the employee will be rewarded with a promotion if they go out with the boss is sexual harassment.
That's a pretty skirt you're wearing.
Thanks.
Don't you have a compliment for me?
No, if a coworker says or does something that makes you feel uncomfortable or is sexual in nature, that is sexual harassment.
There's one more protection we want to cover, that is general harassment. Let's say someone keeps putting scary notes on your car saying they know where you live, or openly treats you different from everyone else, or talks crap about you to others within earshot. While these acts aren't sexual in nature, they are clearly meant to intimidate, harass, or bully you. However, the complaint process for this type of bullying or harassment is not illegal, unless they are doing it because you are in a protected class. Lots of states have tried and are still trying to pass laws that make this type of harassment illegal, but no luck so far. If you are in this situation and feel unsafe, we encourage you to go talk to your union, a supervisor, or human resources. Most of us will be lucky in our work and not have to suffer through these types of bad boss or coworker behaviors. We'll get paid at least minimum wage, we won't be sexually harassed or treated badly because of our protected status. But if these things occur, you have protections. If you have a union, your union contract may well cover harassment and discrimination, and you should bring that to them. In addition, remember we have the Bureau of Labor and Industries. Here again is the bully link to make a complaint. Do not let these issues go. You have workplace rights, and the laws were made to protect you.